We're doing DTLT today.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi, this is DTLT Today. I'm Andy Rush.
I'm Jim Groom. Welcome.
Now, I am using Timmy's little Korg nano controller to do this. So I'm going to try not to be too distracted during the show. But
he's basically saying that he wants me to carry the show, which is not a problem for me. I've been carrying DTLT on my back for how many years now?
Well, how long you been here? All right. Actually, what we wanted to talk about today is not about Jim.
Jesus.
But
I hated this episode.
We want to talk about our little media empire.
Yeah, or some might say collective. I mean, the more probably
for the hippies out there.
For the hippies out there, we might be called media collective.
We kind of want to talk about where we are, where we want to go, I guess.
Absolutely.
Is that fair to say? And I'm going to just kind of do my best to use this switcher. This is my first time using this, and I have to give a lot of credit to Tim, even though he isn't here, and I really shouldn't be giving him credit because
he's not here.
We should be taking advantage of him being gone and saying, like, him not being here, he's dead to us.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
He's been dominating DTLT today.
Right. So now Jim and I are going to take over. We're going to take the media empire where we think it should be and not where Timmy thinks it wants to go.
I think for too long it's been following down the Owens road.
Yeah. Yeah. We're tired of the Owens way.
And we're tired of his little crybaby cats.
We're going to go with the Rush Groom way.
Yeah,
and maybe maybe a little bit of Burtis.
Which is a freeway. No,
but
Burtis isn't here either.
Owens, we're done. We're done with Owens.
Owens and Burtis.
Sure, why not? If Burtis isn't here. What has Burtis done for us lately?
Exactly.
She did her little show yesterday, but she's not here today.
I know, she ran out. First dance, bam, out the door.
Exactly. So, our media empire. Well, what does our media empire start with? But
of course, UMW blogs.
UMW blogs.
And one time, Alan Levine, I don't know if you know him. He's kind of important on the internet, kind of a big deal on the internet.
Sure, I heard that.
Yeah. Well, he once said, when I said, how can you forget WordPress as a tool? And he said, well, WordPress is a tool, but more when he was talking about tools in his PLN, he said, WordPress is kind of like the oxygen, the ether. It's just like where everything happens. And so we've been pretty successful. We're going to get our 7,000th user on UMW blogs this week. We've been successful. We've created a really rich publishing platform where people can publish video, images, audio very easily, have their own space, and we can aggregate it into kind of spaces. And our whole website will be going that route soon, which is really cool.
Right. And
so, yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I was talking with somebody this morning about another new person coming in and kind of trying to figure out what we do and what we can offer. And again, talking about WordPress as it exists now on UMW blogs, but also our main website and the departments going to WordPress.
Yeah,
and
huge.
So we're talking to her about, we'll start using WordPress and get comfortable with it. Then when we switch around October time frame, we'll be completely using WordPress on this campus to publish, to have that rich publishing platform.
That's right.
That we've always been looking for. And she wants to do things like, podcasts and videos. And I said, right now we're using this kind of system that has Contribute, Macromedia's Contribute as the front end. It was great back in the day, but its day was 2002.
Yeah, that's right.
Not 2011.
Yeah,
so
we've been using it for 9 years longer than its day.
Exactly. So it starts with UMW blogs, and if you've visited it recently, or if you haven't, you may have noticed that we've got a nice new redesign.
That's right.
I got
to do some new posts up there.
Yeah, we do have to give somebody who's not here, or a couple people who aren't here, some credit.
Unfortunately,
for the redesign. Again,
Martha Burtis and Tim Owens. Martha Burtis led the project, and Tim Owens kind of helped her fine-tune a couple of things. But yeah, they did. They did a great job.
Yeah, and I think it looks great. We're going to again kind of show the mind of the university and that sort of thing.
Also, the recent posts widget for any of you WordPress folks who are interested out there is actually something that Martha and Boone Gorgas came together on.
That's right. Thanks, Boone.
Thank you, Boone. So that was something, and it's not actually hitting the database like our old one did very hard.
Yeah.
It's actually just reproducing a series of posts or a ghost of them. So it's a lot easier on our site. And we've had no problems. At the beginning of the semester, we have a lot of people on UNW blogs. So far, so good.
I'm knocking on
wood. Yeah,
I'm knocking on wood.
So it starts with UNW blogs. We have a publishing platform. It's going to be on UNW blogs, but it's going to be whole UNW.edu. We're going to be a WordPress school through and through.
Yep.
That's it. So we have that as a basis. That's publishing, writing, right? But then it moves us to kind of fast forward, or let's go back to about January 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we have? What kind of came? DS-106 radio. Grant Potter kind of, based on a whole series of events with a class we were teaching called Digital Storytelling, or DS-106, Grant Potter put together a basically internet radio station that was using IceCast servers,
Mm-hmm.
and the way he framed it now, and this is kind of a new development we're going to have a DTLT Today show on, the basic idea is that this is a free and open radio station that we at the University of Mary Washington now should need to find a way to integrate into classes, into the stuff we do. Right?
Exactly.
So DS-106 radio was really for us, I think, or at least for me, was like the kind of light bulb lit up and like, wow, why are we not doing this?
Right.
We've been so focused on UNW blogs and WordPress, which is great, but then here's this whole other medium, radio. And how can we frame classes around radio projects, or even just use it as a way to get the word out around campus?
And from there, and not to and really not to give the DS-106 radio short shrift, because that was an exciting, as you say, light bulb that went off.
Huge.
And I think
And still
people
is.
did their radio shows, and it's still going. It's not like it's extinct, but it fits nicely into our media empire, doesn't it?
It does, because, you know, and also, just to give another shout out to Grant Potter before we go on to our next thing, is
Grant is
Grant
also
is amazing,
godlike.
and he came up with this Exchange server, which does voice over IP on DS-106 radio, which is our model right now, and basically will allow 20 people to consecutively talk on a radio like a conference call, but they can call from any device. It's free, and he's even working on getting a 1-800 number from a payphone or wherever.
Brilliant.
So think about that. I mean, that just kind of cuts out technology altogether and just gives you a space to collaborate in the ether. And so DS-106 radio, enough great things can't be said about how that helped us in the last year.
Right.
Really reimagine where we're going as a group.
Exactly. And then, as we talked about DS-106 radio, we said, well, hey, why not a TV station?
That's right. So then we had DS-106 TV. A little point, one of our members of the group, Tim Owens, used to actually take care of this site when DS-106 TV was important to him.
Right.
But obviously it's not anymore.
Yeah.
So he's left it with the kind of default theme. And this is the state of DS-106 TV right now.
Tim kind of has those blinders.
He gets
that,
tunnel
you know,
vision.
he does one of these, and it's like, I'm moving forward with what I want to
Meanwhile,
work on.
25 episodes of the Summer of Oblivion, and
Yeah.
all of us doing our thing are on DS-106 TV, but I guess that's kind of like cat food now.
Right. Well, though, in fairness,
Put it behind the
when he
house.
came here, we did kind of say, we want you to work on the things that excite you. That was a big mistake, apparently.
He took it literally.
Yeah,
And
who would have thought?
I guess he hated DS-106 TV, despite the fact that DS-106 TV was the next step. And I'm not going to say evolution, because it's not like we left radio to go to DS-106 TV. I think it
Right.
was the next arm of our empire.
Exactly.
Or collective.
Exactly.
And DS-106 TV was interesting because we first started playing with this with Justin TV.
Right.
Right? Anyone from a cell phone that had the app, or with a computer that had a camera, could kind of project on and put their video as opposed to their audio.
Mhm.
Problem with DS-106 TV was, and with most video is, it's so ad heavy. Right?
Right.
You got the ads,
Right.
here's your 30-second ad, buy cat food, buy my, laundry detergent, whatever, right? And no one wants to sit through it. You feel scummy making people sit through it.
Yes. So we and kind of as a side story, the college relations department, and we need to give credit to Kathy Derricky
Absolutely.
and college relations for. We're still using their system. We're still in the testing phase, right?
Absolutely.
We'll call it the testing phase.
Yeah, this is still a pilot. We're almost done with their stuff, but we need a little longer.
But again, college relations has been great. They've used it for their events, their live events. The kit that we put together was designed to go anywhere, to do any event, to live stream, and we purchased a professional Ustream account, which is known as Watershed. And so we wanted to use the kit along with that to get rid of the ads. The problem with that is that you get a certain number of what they call viewer hours per month. So we can't constantly broadcast with that setup. So we've been looking at different things, and seriously, enter Tim Owens, who's just
been insane.
He's done some great work just kind of researching this. We've gone from Justin TV and Ustream to this kind of hybrid, I guess, but with no ads on Amazon's cloud
E3.
service.
Yeah.
And now that's how we're kind of streaming things as of today. And there are some issues, I guess, with integration with the kit, because it's nice to have the Wirecast software integrates nicely with Justin TV and Ustream and Livestream and some of the other services. So it's not as out of the box easy to use like we wanted the kit to be. But I think we can get there. And it's once you set it up, we're off and running.
Well, he was talking today before he left. He's using this application called Wowza.
Yep.
Which basically we're running on it. He's running on Amazon EC3, or E3. We're going to be running on the media server here, and that means that we can actually install it on the media server and actually run our video without ads. And he just found an application where we can actually run video straight from iPhones or Androids to that application as well, that we can actually go out and do our field reports or whatever straight to a media server that can stream live. That's awesome.
Yep.
And that's really, the TV stuff right now has us excited. We play with it with the Summer of Oblivion. We've got now, exactly.
DTLT today.
Major kudos to Tim Owens
Yep.
for putting this together and really doing it regularly, letting us do it, just being cool about it. But, I mean, look at DTLT today. It's apparent why he hasn't been playing with DS106 TV, because DTLT today is a model site.
It's good looking. He's gone through a couple of different iterations.
Absolutely.
But he's got it set up where the videos play in line, and then several of the thumbnails of previous episodes are down below. Obviously, from here you can go to the live channel. He's even got cast listings where you can go and you can, I'm sure this is probably the first place that you would want to go, other than DTLTtoday.com, is to go to the cast members and see how many times Andy Rush has appeared in a given episode. And that's one of the things you can do on the cast page.
I think it's amazing.
And again, it looks great.
Check it out.
It's a great idea.
He's just been doing amazing work there.
We lost our little chat window, so and you didn't know how to get that back.
I don't really know how to work the iPad.
Way better.
I only use it for porn.
So that was DTLT today. I did want to talk a little bit about some of the media, and I do kind of feel bad about this. I've kind of let some of that stuff go to the wayside as I try to figure out how we're going to integrate all these pieces together. And that's what's been great. It's what's been great about Timmy Boy being here. Is we're figuring this out together, and we're bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other, and it's what makes DTLT great.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have. I mean, we could always use some other great people. Well,
sure.
Let's just throw that out there right now. I mean,
any people who are like traveling around,
Yeah, they want to come. They want to work at a great place, do what they want.
Right. We're open to anything.
We're not going to say no.
Well.
Depends. Maybe you would.
I mean, if everybody out there takes us literally, we might have to say we can't hire all of you.
Yes, exactly.
So there is that caveat. But to get back to my vision is to have like a screencast channel where we talk about interesting ways that we've integrated technology into classroom situations, or how different interesting ways that faculty are using software, hardware to really kind of further the teaching and the learning aspects of where they are. So the idea is to I think eventually just broadcast all day long, and maybe in some way kind of have a constant cycle of videos. There might be the reruns of the DTLT Today show and that sort of thing.
But we're hoping for disciplinary stuff. We're hoping...
Exactly.
I mean, this is nascent members. Right now. Right. What we're doing now is we're getting out and we're saying to classes, this week, classes just started, you know, what kind of shows can you build into your curriculum that we can put on DS106 TV, or, I'm sorry, DTLT Today, or else? I mean, same with the radio stuff. Like, we're now kind of applying this like we applied UMW blogs 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Like, now this is what we're pushing.
Right.
This is what we're on to. This is our crack of the year.
And it's what we've always dreamed about doing, and we never knew really. I mean, we had ideas of maybe where we could go. The technology that's changed in the past few months even
Absolutely.
has helped us kind of get where we want to go, and helps us see the vision a little bit better.
But also, you've been doing unbelievable stuff with the New Media Cookbook. I mean, all that stuff is leading up to the stuff that we're doing now. I mean, think about DS106 and the resources you've been giving us for not since January, but since the previous January of 2010, where we've been doing this stuff in terms of video and audio experimentation in that class, which has been huge for thinking about ways for us to kind of teach this stuff, for let professors and students learn how to use it, for us to get familiar with codecs. And now I think as a group, we're a lot more and better prepared now to go to people and say, like, we can support you in this.
Well, and I think the best thing about this is that we may have at one time thought about having like a cable TV channel that we could broadcast, and then maybe students could watch it on campus. It might be picked up by the Fredericksburg cable system or something like that. Yeah. But really, this is we've gone in a better direction, and that is to tie it all in with the web. Yeah. To have it all integrated, to have UMW blogs as the place where any of these pieces of media can be repurposed. That's right. And have it all delivered through the internet, so that anybody anywhere can take advantage. You know, this is our piece that we share. We want to make sure that people know what we're doing. We want to find out how people are using some of the same technologies that we have, in better ways or in other ways.
Absolutely.
And we kind of run into this constantly when we talk to people at conferences about doing this. And the same thing happened at the NMC conference back in June. People are using Wirecast, and they may get some little different tweaks or tips or whatever that we've done things differently. But we're all about sharing and trying to figure out how to make this stuff work really well.
And the main thing too is, and this is interesting, is a lot of times when you think about the video and the promotion and all that stuff, you also think about like university relations, about getting your big names and your big ideas out there so that people see it and want to go to your school. Mm-hmm. And that's fine and all good, but we don't want to do that necessarily. We want to bring this back into the actual process of teaching and learning, the actual courses. Like, we want this stuff in the class. We want this stuff like we do it. Like, this is like, fly on the wall. This is what's happening.
Yes.
This isn't your polished afterthought of, here's our brochure. And we want to bring video and audio, and hopefully that will be even more disruptive, because you start bringing video and audio into the class and start capturing stuff. You really put people on the spot, and you really even make that classroom that we've talked about as being open and transformative, and in some ways, how do you call that? Fluid, but I'm looking for an osmotic. But
oh, that's good. I kind of like that.
Anyway, like those porous,
the membranes, the permeability
some
of
sort
the
of
membranes.
Interpenetration.
There you go. Oh, I was afraid we probably are about a time right now.
But either way, I mean, this kind of porous sense. So we'll bring the video and radio in there, and blow the doors off this stuff now. It's about time. And I'm not saying it's not happening. It is happening. But I don't think enough people are talking about where it's happening and how it's happening. I'd love to get that conversation.
Right. And I think the ability to do this stuff immediately, to have this serendipitous moment somewhere out on campus and just say, hey, we can be there in half an hour, with us all set up.
Or you can, all the better is you can stream that event from your iPhone to the DTLT media server. Like, how about that?
Yeah, Tim's just telling me about this new application that will do it.
We're not going to be at the head of it.
Right.
We're going to say to everyone out there, you got an application, you got a phone, you got a computer, great. Feed it in. And there's going to have to be some ways so that we don't get into like crazy, like you're feeding something that maybe shouldn't be fed.
Right.
But like, we'll figure that out. And there's going to be some mistakes.
Sure.
But that's what an empire means.
Right.
You know, when we create our empire, the thing is now we got to get ad money.
Right. We'll make mistakes, but we'll make other people pay.
We got to give ourselves that raise that we haven't got for 5 years.
Exactly. Yeah, and we won't let it go until they give us the raise.
No, we won't.
So
and we'll have video on them.
It's our empire.
And we'll expose them.
I think we're pretty much done.
I think that's it.
We'll probably revisit this, and I mean, this has been similar to some other talks that we've had about, you know, what equipment that we're using. But we did want to kind of give an overall general picture of where our ideas are. But we also would love feedback in terms of what people would like to see, what would make up a good teaching and learning empire.
Yeah.
In terms of media.
How would you use this stuff in the class?
Sure.
I mean, we don't know yet. This is really what we're pushing this year, and it's a vision that it's not just the tools. We do have a vision for using it for the jobs we do here.
Okay. One note that I do want to leave on is I'm looking at the chat. You people are not chat pawns. We are trying to I've got lots of controls here that I need to keep track of. So the chat I didn't necessarily keep up on.
Listen, chat amongst yourselves.
But no, yeah. we love all you people. Cog Dog, Todd Conaway. I don't know who Porky Pig is. Michael Branson Smith is out there.
Who I'll be in touch with.
All you guys out there make this what it is.
Yeah, but I hope you're not depending upon us to like give you like positive reinforcement.
No, because we're about done. We're shot.
I mean, come on.
You guys need to pick up the ball and run with it. So, I think we're about done.
I think we're almost done.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
DTLT today.
Appreciate it.
Uh-oh. You can't not. We need the outro.
All right, we're looking for the outro. Hang on.
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet.
We have to have an outro.
We can't end the show without the outro.
Otherwise, Timmy Boy will call us amateurs. Oh. I'm on the cuddle couch alone. I can even... Thank you.